Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am sharing with you my personal favorite bronzers and contours. Okay, first of all, what is the difference? Here are the rules. Bronzers are for bronzing the skin, bringing warmth. They typically have a little bit more of a warmer red undertone. When you bronze, you typically bronze top of the forehead, a little bit on the nose, the sides. It's not as structured, right? It's just going to bring a little bit of warmth and dimension. That is bronzing. Contour, we are structured, we are shadows. Contours typically tend to be a little bit cooler. Now for us women of color, just because it's cooler does not necessarily mean that it needs to be flat, ashy gray. Not necessarily, you know what I mean? But when you're contouring, think about shadows, shrinking. You are trying to snatch your face. You are trying to make things appear smaller. For instance, for me, I have a large forehead. Everybody's face structure is different. So how maybe I contour, you may not contour. So therefore, I contour my forehead. Now, if you're someone who has a short forehead, sis, please do not contour it, because it's going to shrink your forehead even more. Your brows are gonna look like they are on top of your hairline, and you're gonna look a little bit crazy. So those are a few differences. The rules, okay? Once you know the rules, you can kind of bend them, you can kind of shift them, you can break them, you can do whatever the heck you want to do. I know some people do use a bronzer as a contour, and that is totally fine. I think the only time that is going to run into an issue is if you are doing something where you are going to be taking high definition photos. So if you're doing something where you're going to be photographed, then you do not want to do that, because when that flash picks it up, it's going to look very warm, and you won't be chiseling, you won't be receding a thing. It's just going to be payout, more warm to the face. So that is something to think about, all right? Everyone has their own thoughts and opinions on it. That is my thought. That is how I operate when I'm working on my clients and myself. Now, let's get into my favorite bronzers. I actually only have two. So my first favorite bronzer, and this is the one that I have been using the most. Bronzers aren't in any order. This is just the first one I picked up because it's the one that I'm using recently. Morphe Brontour and Showmance. Now, this pulls a tish bit more red, not too much. I have more of a golden undertone, and I have found that, for instance, like the Fenty bronzer, I did not like that on me at all. It looked way too red. To each their own. Everybody is different. It's a matter of what you like when you look at yourself. It doesn't matter if someone says, oh, that looks good on you. If you don't like a certain undertone on yourself, that is okay. I know sometimes people feel like, oh, well, you know, this is my skin tone, this is my undertone, this is what it says. Well, I understand that, but at the same time, for me, I am not used to seeing anything that's very warm on my face like that when it comes to bronzer. So therefore, the Fenty bronzer, for me, I was not a fan of. It looked more like a blush. But this Brontour here, this gives me just the right amount of warmth without it being too red. If I want bronzer right now, because we are in the winter, cooler times, we're not as popping when it comes to the melanin, this is what is working for me right now. And it does have a little bit of this gold strip, which I do mix the two together. Just gives it a little bit more of a payout. The next one here, Prime Beauty Brownzer in Brownsville. Everyone is familiar with this one. This bronzer is absolutely the most perfect stunning bronzer. I love the tone of it. I love that it's not too dark, it's not too red, and it's matte. We are hard pressed to find a matte bronzer for us women of color. Prime Beauty came through, and they have, I want to say maybe, I know there's one more darker than this one. There might be two more. I can't remember off the top of my head, but if you are my skin tone and you're looking for a beautiful matte bronzer, this is where it's at. It's not too red, and it doesn't pull cool at all. I loved this all summer long. It was beautiful. Now let's move into contours. My absolute favorite contour powder ever, period, of life, the Natasha Denona Sculpting Powder in the shade number 5. Look at her. Okay, so look at this in comparison to the Prime Beauty. Can you guys see differences? I see huge differences. So first of all, let's talk about the undertone. The undertone for the Prime Beauty, which is our bronzer, it is warmer. The undertone for the Natasha Denona, it is cooler but it's not dramatically cooler to the point where it'll pull more of a gray cast shadow on me. This is a beautiful undertone, and it is a little bit darker than the bronzer, which for me and my skin tone, that is what I want, so therefore I can get some variation between the two. This powder, again, Natasha Denona and her freaking formulas. This glides onto my skin like butter. There are some contour powders where you put them on, and where you put them on, they stick, and then you can't blend them, and it's like, oh my gosh, I have this muddy line on my face. No, I highly recommend, if you are looking for a contour powder, you need this one. Unfortunately, this is the deepest one, but I feel like it's going to work on a ton of skin tones. Now, if you are darker than me, this will probably be too deep for you. You might want to go to shade 4, but if you maybe even 1 to 2 shades deeper than me, you could definitely get away with wearing this. This is beautiful, and don't worry if you are deeper than me and you don't think this will work for you, I got one that'll work for you. This is my favorite. Next up, so this Hoola Benefit, the Toasted, it is marketed as a bronzer. I have found, for me personally, it looks more of a contour. In the pan, it looks nice and warm. You know, it doesn't look like it's gonna be dark, but baby, once you throw this on your face, I remember when I did the comparison between this one and the Fenty, a lot of people were saying this looks like a bruise on your face. On camera, for some reason, I don't know why, maybe it's just my lighting, my camera settings, it does pull more purple, which again, if you look at it, I don't understand why, because there's no mauve tone to it, but I do enjoy this more so for chiseling my face. If I want to bring more structure and dimension, I don't pull for this one for warmth because I don't think it's really all that warm on my skin, but when I want to do a little bit more structured, more chiseling, I will go for this one in the summertime. Beautiful, because this one is dark. The next one does not look like it could be a contour powder, but it is. So this is MAC Blush in Swiss Chocolate, excuse me. That is actually what I have on my face for my contour today. So in the pan, it looks mauve, but on the skin, it looks beautiful. Everyone is familiar with the MAC formula. It goes on easy, it blends out easy. I don't have to worry about this leaving me throughout the day. Don't be afraid of it. If anything, try it out and report back. And then next up, if I'm like really wanting to go for the full on shebang bang, I want the works, I want to be beat for the gods, and I do some cream contouring, I am rocking with the ABH contour stick in the shade Earth. So this is, it's dark, as you see. It is dark, and it's not super cool. It is a little bit on the warmer side, but that's okay. Once you start blending it out and then you set on top of it with maybe like a Natasha Denona powder, you are going to be chiseled and structured. Now, this isn't something that I use on a regular basis at all. This is for a very special occasion. I know I'm going to be taking photographs. If I have some kind of photo shoot or something, I will go for this. And then the last one I wasn't going to mention because it's not available at Sephora or Ulta. So this will be more so of our honorable mention. When I checked the website, it is on the website, half off. So that is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Shapeshifter. I have talked about this before. There are two sides. So the first side you get here is the contour side. So you've got this here. This is very dark. Over here, now can you guys see the difference between the ABH and this one? This one is definitely cooler, the ABH is definitely warmer, so that way you can get a comparison. On the hand, definitely the ABH probably is going to look more so, the ABH is probably going to come off more so as a cream bronzer, but like I said, because it is so deep in shade, I can kind of get away with it as a contour. But as you can see, that is what those look like, and man, oh man, this is beautiful on the skin. So you have this one, you have a little color corrector, you have a highlighter here and a cream highlighter. Don't really care for too many of these, just that one. And then on the flip side here, this is my favorite side. the powders. So this is the powder contour. This one is way too deep for me. I use this powder contour. It is beautiful. And then they have the shimmer tone and the yellow powder. If you want to save you some cash, y'all, and you maybe need some new contour situations in your life, I would highly recommend you grab it off of Urban Decay. It is half off. It's $22. I just checked it. And this one is in the shade Medium Dark Shift. Boom. That is all. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Down below, please let me know some of your favorite contours and bronzers. If there's anything that you want me to try, because I haven't tried any new bronzers in a hot minute. I don't think that there's anything out, but either way, I still want to hear your favorites. Also, if you want to see this look here on my eyes, it is with the new Natasha Denona Love Palette. I will be sure to link that video down below. So you guys know the deal. Keep it simple, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.